Hi, everyone, and welcome to a CX Moment. I'm Sarah Reed from Zendesk, and in this episode, we're joined by Brent Pliskow, the VP of Customer Support at Upwork. Upwork helps businesses be more flexible with their workforce talent, which we all kind of need right now, and helps talent find more and sometimes different types of work opportunities. And we're going to hear more about that Upwork model and how Upwork brings that same methodology internally to their teams and workflows. But before we dive in, we'd love to hear from you. And I see some of you have already found the comments section, which is fantastic. So let us know in the comments if you are currently using freelance or temporary talent in your support organizations. So a quick yes, no, or maybe you're currently considering it. So are you using temporary or freelance talent? Drop that into the comments. Yes, no, maybe. And we'll work from there. So while those results are tabulating, let's go ahead and say hello to Brent.
Hey, Sarah.
Brent. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
I'm doing well. So where are you coming in from today, Brent? I see a little some activity going on behind you.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, no, great question, Sarah. So welcome to my garage. We are in the world of true remote work, and my remote place is the garage. And, when the pandemic set in, I set up a folding table, went outside. All good things in the Bay Area happen in a garage, right? So here we are today, 2+ years later, but it's great to join you today.
Well, it looks like you can get some of your projects done in between, work calls. It's like just turn around and it's like, all right, well, what do I need to work on today back here?
Or just hop on the Peloton and
Just
take a
hop
quick
on the
ride.
Peloton. Well, you and I have known each other now for quite a few years, and you've
Yes.
been such a fantastic Zendesk advocate. But you've only recently been at Upwork. So tell us a bit about your background in support and what brought you to Upwork.
Yeah, great question, Sarah. So first and foremost, I've been in the customer experience space for now over 20 years. I graduated from college with a degree in computer science. I thought I was going to take the technical career path, wanted to be a database administrator. That's what I pursued. The first opportunity that fell onto my plate was to actually become an internal help desk agent. And from there, it really transpired over the course of 20 years to really being a focus around customer experience and customer support. There was a very brief stint in project management. And what I like to say about that is that project management work was all focused on the customer experience, just internally within the company. I was going into business units and I was looking at the organizational health of that organization and saying, how can we do this better, always with the employee experience top of mind? So fast forward to today, here I am at Upwork, really excited to be part of this company, be part of the mission, bringing the world's work marketplace to the forefront.
Bringing the world's work marketplace to the forefront. All right, I think we're going to probably come back to that a couple of times in this conversation. Now, your customers are both companies looking for talent and talent looking for work. Did I get that correctly?
That is absolutely correct. Yes.
And as you so well described, the nature of work has changed significantly over the past few years. And that also means that the nature of temporary work has changed. We've really gotten away from this idea of temporary work as being a stopgap. And it's now oftentimes seen as my path to a permanent job, or it's just something that maybe I want to experiment with new skills, new careers, and temporary work gives you that ability to play around with some things, which is pretty exciting, actually. So just this morning, you all, being Upwork, released some interesting research on the future workforce. And maybe if one of my colleagues can do me a favor and drop the link to that research into the comments section, I think people would really love to see that. But what trends really stood out to you with that research, since it's hot off the press.
It's so hot off the press that I'm still reading through it and trying to get all my facts straight. But I think the biggest thing that research put forward for us and really for the world's marketplace is that the interest in talent is extremely high from companies, and the interest in highly skilled talent is even higher. And so what we have found is that the majority of businesses are still in a hiring mode, and what they're looking for is that skilled talent workforce, which they might not be able to find within their local city or region. And so they're now turning to the global workforce to see what talent and skills may be available. I think the one piece that I took out from it when we looked out 6 months and we said, what type of workers are going to be hired in the next 6 months? At the top of the list, 52%, customer support, right?
Wow.
That's the industry that we all live in. And so it's really remarkable and reassuring to hear that customer support still ranks at the top of that list.
Well, being someone who's worked in the customer support leadership realm for quite some time, I have a lot of questions on how to best use freelance talent, but we're going to get there in a moment. I want to talk first about how the pandemic and the Great Resignation has really changed the type of user you see on your platform. So let's talk about macroeconomics, like what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
How does that impact the type of user you see, which means the type of people we're all looking for?
Yeah, well, I think two things have happened primarily over the last 2 years. We've had a global pandemic, and we've also, as a result of that, had maybe or not as a result of it, but the Great Resignation has kind of followed in quickly after that. And one of the things that I think we found on our own platform is a lot of people who were in very secure jobs that really enjoyed what they were doing, were looking for something new. And
Mhm.
so there was probably opportunities for them to tap into skills that were previously unearthed or tucked away, that they wanted to bring forward and say, you know what, I actually think my passion is somewhere else. And so they come onto the Upwork platform and they can find many different opportunities from great businesses around the world in order to build their skill set. Conversely, again, back to the businesses that are looking for talent, they now can tap into this much richer pool. The other thing that's happened is there have been, as you mentioned, some macroeconomic and other world events that have happened of late. In particular, when we think about the conflict in Russia and Ukraine, there have been a lot of people that have been displaced as a result of that. And so one of the things that Upwork is providing for those individuals that are finding themselves in very severe predicaments is making sure that they have the opportunity to carry forward and still support their livelihoods by utilizing our platform and continuing their careers.
And you're also using this model within your own support organization, and your turnover rate is less than 5%. Is that correct?
It is, indeed.
I know I can speak for everyone who is currently running a support organization that that's unheard of. So explain that to us. How are you building a support team with Upwork freelance talent? And is everyone freelance or are some people full-time?
The very large majority of our workforce that is providing support to our customers are freelancer talent on our own platform. What better way to support our customers who are utilizing the same platform than to have people that live and breathe and experience that day to day? So in their interactions with our customers, they're saying, hey, I'm a freelancer on this platform too. I really can empathize with what you're experiencing right now, like truly empathize with it. There are a handful of our leaders, which are certainly full-time employees, but really the bulk of the workforce is freelance talent.
And you
You
have over
asked how
300 people in your support
we
organization, right?
we do have over 300 people. Yes. Yeah. And we're keeping them engaged, right? Because these are people that are not what we might classify as the temporary worker, right? Because these are people that have been with us for a year or two or more, and continuing to enjoy the work that they're doing and give back to the community of freelancers that they're a part of as well. And we're in keeping them engaged. And I think that the best things that we're doing is ensuring that we are communicating effectively across the board. So they are part of the One Upwork family. They know the strategies and the direction that the business is heading, and we're giving them updates along the way, and they just feel like part of that team.
So how do you train independent talent? Is it the same way that you would train full-time employees? Do you have to do anything different?
Well, I think the best thing is, again, this talent is using our platform already in many ways. And so the hurdle to actually get somebody off the ground and understanding your product, that barrier has been removed. So what we're training them on are some of the particulars, perhaps behind the scenes. And so that is enabling them to provide the best support experience to our customers.
Well, you have some fans out in the audience. Carol says she was a member of your team and it works. And there are a lot of people who are like, that's completely unheard of. It's amazing. Clearly, you're doing something right. So you talk about this engagement. You talk about the fact that you have that your team, your freelance team is using the platform already, which makes them a little bit more empathetic, much more helpful. What about technology? Do you have to have any specific or unique types of technology in place for this type of workforce? It's a distributed workforce. Two,
Mhm.
it's independent talent. So how do you, like, what's the tech that makes this work?
Well, I feel like we talked about this previously, but we didn't. It's really Zendesk, right? At its core, Zendesk is making this work. It is a global platform that's allowing us all to connect and for our customers to connect with us in a streamlined fashion. And it allows us to simplify our workflows. It gives us great customer insights. And I think that's really at the core of the platform that we're using. We absolutely will leverage other technologies in the support of our business. And I can call out two in particular. One that's giving us great customer insights, and that's Unit Q.
Okay.
That's allowing us to get early detection of issues that are surfacing within our environment, or even allowing us to identify what's been longstanding issues in our environment so that we can carry that forward and influence any product stakeholders. The other is forethought. One of the things that we haven't talked about yet, but I'll bring forward, is we are heavily investing in technology that's going to enable our agents to be more efficient, more effective, and really up-level the customer experience. Doing so means that we are relying on a lot of self-service technology, and forethought is helping us achieve that. Again, improving the agent experience as a result. 58% of the interactions that come through our chatbot experience are resolved, leaving only 42% of that population to be handled by our support team.
Well, I'm going to have a little self-serving moment here. Lauren, you're asking this question about, are we going to go over customer service strategies for 2023? And I want to point out that we have an event on September 14th, which is called CX Accelerator. And in that event, we're going to talk about a lot of the trends, a lot of the things that you need to put into your strategy. And a lot of the things that Brent is currently describing, those are specific aspects of being a CX champion, which we will dive very deeply into on the 14th of September. And so, Brent, you are, just know that you are at the top of our CX champion our journey. You're already there, but if you want to join in, we're going to tell you some things that you need to do to stay at the top, which you might not need because you're clearly killing it. But do you think that this model could have worked at some of the previous companies that you worked at?
Amazingly, yes. And I will be the first to say, coming in, I had some doubts. I was a little bit skeptical. How do you keep individuals that are supporting your business motivated and engaged.
Right.
If they are not part of that, full-time employee base. And what I have seen, the way that we work with our talent on the platform that are supporting our customers is just blowing my mind. And I think if I were to have the opportunity to go back in time and lead some of the other organizations that I've been a part of, I think that tapping into this type of resource pool would definitely be at the top of that list.
Well, you just answered the question from Kate, which was, how do you get those external agents to buy in and stay engaged? And it sounds like, all the things that we've been talking about, from training, the transparency, making them feel like they are part of your organization, are all of those things. So thank you so much for that. Let's go back to the research for a moment. It said that 79% of businesses say that freelancers enabled them to be more innovative. 81% said it made them more cost efficient. And 85% say that freelancers give them more skills and expertise. In your opinion, does that hold true also for the support side of things in any organization?
I think so, absolutely. And particularly when you think about innovation. One of the benefits of having a freelancer workforce is you're bringing in talent with a very diverse background, and both in experience and cultures and everything else. And I think from that comes innovation. And so one of the things that's actually keeping our agents engaged, historically, we used to do hackathons.
Okay.
That's kind of evolved. It's evolved into what we call initiatives. And so every agent within our team is encouraged to put forward ideas that would benefit our customer base as well as the agent experience. If there's a pulled forward and implemented, they're rewarded in kind for that contribution. And I think, again, it just reinforces the innovation that we bring to the platform by having talent sourced from within.
I have one more question, and that's phenomenal. And I do think that there are going to be people who may steal that idea, because I think that there's some long-term benefits, clearly not just for your team itself, but for the overall organization. I have one more question about the model, and then we're going to dive into some specifics around the support that your team actually offers. So, and this one might be a little controversial, but we've talked a lot on this program about outsourcing BPOs. But do you think that freelancers is a better option than going to outsourcing?
Wow. I might have to give, yes, but I'll be a little bit political in my statement because I've worked with some tremendous BPO partners in my history. And I think that for the right fit for what a business needs to operate, BPO is probably the way forward. But there are a tremendous amount of opportunities where freelancing talent is going to provide the flexibility, both to the business as well as to the individual, that I think carry forwards in volume. So yes, I think it is the better way forward. I would not say that if I was not here at Upwork, but certainly do believe and support a lot of the BPOs that are out there. They are doing great work as well.
I spent the bulk of my career in BPOs, so I appreciate that answer. But I also would have loved to have had the option of an Upwork many times along the way. So I do see there's a place for both in our ever-growing customer experience world. All right, let's talk some specifics around your team, your support organization. What types of tickets do they typically see in a day?
Yeah, so we are receiving, first and foremost, to kind of set things into perspective, we're receiving over 600,000 tickets every year, which is a tremendous amount of volume when you start breaking that down into monthly, weekly, and daily. Obviously, many of the common things that our customers are coming forward with us or to us about are things like logins, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very standard thing that you see floating to the top of any customer support organization. But beyond that, we're also finding that people are just coming to us who are looking for help. These are people that are freelancers or even clients on the platform. They're looking for talent or they're looking for an opportunity, and they want our help to kind of bring that gap to a closure. And so in that sense, we're providing a little bit more proactive support, and we're actually helping the talent or helping the client say, here are some resources that will improve your attraction to a client or talent. The other thing that we are certainly supporting is disputes. And if I can take a few steps back, one of the ways that I look at Upwork, and this is not corporate approved perspective, it's my own, is I feel like Upwork is a professional matchmaking platform for clients and talent. We provide the vehicle by which the client and the talent engage and meet and form a relationship. Well, we all know, many of us, relationships may not always go in the direction that we hope.
Complicated, yes.
They are complicated, exactly. And so, that's where in our world, it gets to the form of a dispute. And that's where we have to enter in as a neutral party and help both client and talent come to an alignment on, where they can find middle ground and hopefully resolve that dispute in a way that both leave the experience feeling like they have been heard, they have received, whatever it is that they're looking for, and they can continue using the platform to engage and grow their business or grow their portfolio.
You talked a bit earlier about automation and some AI tactics that you're utilizing. I would expect that you're using some automation for some of those things like login questions, facilitating those easy responses. That's likely not the case when it comes to sensitive conversations. So where is your balance of automation and humanity when you're dealing with disputes, sensitive conversations, a bit more where you might need that human touch?
Yeah, I think that's exactly where the AI technology probably in our lifetime will never get to a point of being able to handle where there is that human touch and involvement required. And so what it means is that what we're facilitating through our support is leading a dialogue and entering the conversation. In the case of disputes, we're entering the conversation with the client and the talent, right? And we are becoming an empathetic third party to what it is that is going on, and helping them steer the way to a resolution. I do believe that we will continue to invest in areas that will allow us to provide the human touch where it absolutely makes the most sense.
And that then means you're going to continue to need more freelancers, right?
Exactly.
So we talked, and this goes really nicely into my next question, which is around conversational messaging and the fact that, we more and more, we want to have fewer like transactions with our support organizations as customers and more conversations. What is Upwork currently doing to facilitate that? And walk us into a bit of your vision of the future around conversations.
Well, so first and foremost, our platform, as I mentioned, it's like a professional dating platform, right? So there are exchanges happening every day between both sides. We are providing a vehicle for our customers to have a conversation with each other through messaging. That is what's currently being done on our platform. My vision for the future, and hopefully I can get some funding, and maybe there are people listening that can support this, is that support can very easily become part of that conversational flow. Especially if you look back to how we handle disputes, pulling in somebody into the conversation from Upwork to say, hey, can you help us here? I think just adds to the experience and make sure that our customers don't have to leave what they're doing and swivel seat onto another screen, have to replay the entire conversation again. So that's my vision for the future, is just how do we integrate support directly into our platform so that we are having conversations with our customers just as our customers are having conversations with each other.
So it goes right back to, meet your customers where they are. Don't make them have to come to you. Be proactive and be available to them in the place where they're already at. Again, you're hitting all the marks of a CX champion, Brent. And so I got to commend you on what's going on in your organization and the support that you're providing. It's pretty remarkable. So we have time for one more question. I told you this 30 minutes would go super fast, but
Yeah.
I do want to say, please, everyone, rate your experience in today's session. I have found this to be incredibly insightful. I hope you did as well. Please respond to the Google survey form that Logan has dropped into the comments. And if you fill it out, we'll choose 10 random respondents for a $5 Starbucks e-gift card. We can all use a little coffee along the way. All right. So what's next? What are you thinking about for your support organization? Where should we be thinking for support, be it from a personnel side or from a technology side? What's your advice for what's to come? What's your strategy?
Yeah, wow. Well, I'm thinking about a lot right now, but I think the main themes that are coming to the forefront for me and for our organization is, how do we continue to invest in self-service technologies to make sure that we are supporting our customers fast and efficiently? And then for the things that can't be resolved through self-service, how are we making sure that that's coming inside of Upwork and we are quick to respond, quick to isolate a problem, quick to identify trends, and quick to escalate so that we can make sure that these things are removed and resolved for customers as soon as possible. I think that's kind of what I am thinking about as we head into the next fiscal year and even beyond. How can we be faster at what we're doing in support of our customers so that they can get off the ground, that they can be unblocked, that they can find work, that they can hire talent, and they can really just get work done.
And will you be utilizing Forethought as your for self-service in the future?
That is our continued partner. Yes, Forethought will be a part of that play for now.
So Forethought for self-service, UnitQ for customer insights. Both of those are Zendesk partners as well, so you can check them out on our partner marketplace. So Brent, big thank you to you. This was so much fun to talk about, and a big thank you to everyone for sharing a moment with us today. Please join us on August 22nd for another CX Moment, this time with our friends at the New York Times, which will be really not August 22nd, because that's already passed. How about September 22nd, since today, whoa, you can see where my brain is. I can't believe we're already to the end of August. Wow. September 22nd with the New York Times. And Kate, UnitQ for customer analytics, and Forethought for self-service. So you've made them both very happy today, Brent. So thank you again, everyone. Be safe, be helpful, and we will chat again soon. Bye, everyone.